As they walked along the beach, Ning Shuang suddenly stepped ahead of Lu Fan. Seeing her silence, Lu Fan smiled and asked, "Are you really leaving, or just putting on an act?" Ning Shuang remained silent for a few moments. Sadness was evident in her eyes. She slowly moved closer to him and said in a low voice, "There is room in your heart for so many people, but there never was any for me." Lu Fan was taken aback by her words. Then, trying to lighten the mood, he said, "Hey, watch your tone. If you keep behaving like this, I'm leaving right now." Ning Shuang simply looked at him while the ocean waves deepened the silence stretching between them. She turned abruptly and said with a touch of sadness, "I was born into a prestigious family and underwent rigorous training. I always pushed myself to prove my worth. After leaving home, I didn't even know who I was or why such an intense fire burned within me. A fire I couldn't escape. Chasing you from the west to the south and watching you grow stronger while fighting for your country made me realize what I truly want." She smiled faintly, then turned and said, "I am a phoenix. I was born to be reborn in the flames and emerge even stronger. Nothing and no one can erase the memory of you from my mind. I will return to the west and establish my own branch of the Ning family." Lu Fan thought to himself that the girl had truly lost her mind. He asked, "Do you really want to go back into the midst of the power struggles between wealthy families?" Ning Shuang replied, "Yes, I want to atone for my brother's misdeeds and clear my name of the false accusations the Lu family leveled against me." Lu Fan smiled and said, "So that's how it is? All right, I wish you the best." Ling Shuang smiled faintly as well. The very next moment, a brilliant aura enveloped her. She mounted her guardian eagle and soared into the sky. As she left, she glanced back and said, "If you ever find yourself in trouble, I'll come to your aid immediately." Lu Fan watched her recede into the distance, then smiled to himself. "The day you're imagining might never come. I probably won't ever need your help." A moment later, his attention shifted to his dragon, and excitement lit up his face. "Simply changing its form or raising its rank isn't enough. I should enable it to speak." He extended his hand, a glowing light appeared in his palm, and a status window materialized before him. Form enhancement. This ability could strengthen the spiritual bond with the pet, evolve its human form, and allow it to function independently of its dragon form. In human form, it could speak, learn, work, and even level up on its own. Without hesitation, Lu Fan activated the power. His eyes were fixed eagerly on the dragon. He wondered, if this succeeds, what will be the first word my dragon speaks? His heart began to wait impatiently for that moment. As soon as the transformation granting them the power of speech was complete, the smallest dragon looked at Lu Fan with glowing eyes and said innocently, "Daddy, I'm hungry." Lu Fan froze right where he stood upon hearing those words. His eyes widened, and his face filled with disbelief. He had been waiting for his dragons to speak for so long, yet he had never imagined their first word would be "Daddy." For a moment, his heart swelled with a strange sense of joy, but then the second dragon stepped forward and spoke, "Papa, big sister is hungry too. Please give us something to eat." In an instant, Lu Fan's expression shifted. "Wait, hold on a minute," he said, clutching his forehead. Voices calling, "Father, father," began to echo from all directions. Finally, he said in exasperation, "Why are you all calling me father? Yea, I'm not even married yet." The dragons glanced at one another. Lu Fan took a deep breath and said in a serious tone, "From now on, call me master. Just master. Understood?" Upon hearing this, all the dragons happily gathered around him and clung to him. "Yes, master." Hearing their voices in unison, Lu Fan breathed a sigh of relief. "Thank goodness, why," he thought to himself, "if my aunt or anyone else ever heard them calling me Papa, I'd end up in serious trouble for no reason." Immediately afterward, his gaze shifted to their status details. He wanted to know if there had been any changes to their levels or attributes following the transformation. Just then, the familiar status window appeared before him. Glowing letters displayed the following contract: Black Dragon. Lu Fan's eyes narrowed. He realized that the real transformation was about to begin. Lu Fan immediately opened the system window and carefully examined the details of both dragons. Before long, a look of understanding dawned in his eyes. Just as he had surmised, almost all abilities associated with the human form had reverted to their initial state. Levels, skills, and various special attributes had all returned to their starting points. Yet this was not a bad thing. In fact, the most crucial element remained intact: the form link. This innate ability maintained a profound connection between the human form and the true dragon form. Consequently, even though their human forms were at level 1, the extraordinary power of the dragon race still lay dormant within their bodies. Excitement flickered in Lu Fan's eyes. He knew full well that ordinary beings were incredibly weak at level 1, but his dragons were different. Their very starting point was far beyond the reach of others. If they were to acquire good weapons and the right training, a faint smile played upon his lips at the thought, then it would likely be no easy task for anyone to stop them. Although their human forms were currently akin to those of newborns, the power coursing through them was not that of an ordinary creature, but of dragons. Lu Fan suddenly recalled a past conversation. Someone had told him that if he ever needed any kind of assistance in the future, he could contact them without hesitation. Old Juhu, the renowned blacksmith of Griffin Stronghold, could craft special equipment for him, while Sister Tu could help arrange the auction of any rare items. But right now, Lu Fan's attention was elsewhere. Something entirely different was on his mind. He summoned all his dragons before him. Dozens of pairs of eyes gazed at him expectantly. Without wasting a single moment, Lu Fan utilized his newfound power. One by one, a mysterious light descended upon the dragons' bodies. As the power took effect, a remarkable transformation began to unfold. A few moments later, Lu Fan nodded in satisfaction and said, "I have cast a transformation spell on all of you. You can now assume human form and speak as well." The dragons were filled with excitement upon hearing this. Just then, Lu Fan suddenly remembered something important. He looked at them all with a serious expression. "Let's establish a rule right now." The dragons fell silent. "No one is to call me father. From now on, you will address me only as master. Understood?" At that moment, he recalled what Uncle Tu had said. A serious look settled on his face. It was crucial to convey information regarding the plan to modify the armillary sphere, and doing so required a journey to the far north. There was absolutely no time to waste. Lu Fan looked at Xiao Fei and said loudly, "You've eaten enough. It's time for us to leave." The very next instant, he raised his hand. Ripples stirred in the air, and slowly, a massive portal opened up. A mysterious light emanated from within. Before stepping inside, Lu Fan cast a sharp, intense glance at all the dragons. "And remember," there was a clear warning in his voice, "if anyone calls me father, there will be serious trouble." The dragons nodded immediately. Then Lu Fan took the lead and stepped into the portal, while the entire group followed him, setting out on a new journey.